What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Corpse Party Book of Shadows. Here we are, we loaded up the same save file as last time, and, oh, I actually have to enter the death room this way. So we're gonna speed this up real quick, and make it all the way to this decision point, which is actually gonna take really, really little time. Holy cow, that went by so fast! I had no idea the speed up button could go that quickly. I guess in the wonderful... Oh, we can take a second to look around now. I didn't really get much time to take a look at the place. Do we see the bucket with arms? Sadly, no. I think that would be somewhat funny looking. I do want to see what the cabinet says. It's an enormous standing closet with double doors. Some of my size can most likely fit inside in a pinch. I wonder if that's going to be relevant. Alright, we'll do this to trigger the same sort of cutscene and all. But yeah, man. I guess wrong end hunting won't be anywhere near as long as I anticipated given the skip function. That's actually really helpful. Speaking of which, I still haven't recorded the wrong end videos. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about them though. Alright, let's head inside the cabinet and see. Hopefully things go a little bit better this time. The footsteps are approaching fast. I ran over to the large cabinet on the other side of the room. Please, open! Open sesame! To quote the words of a wonderful starfish. Oh no. The doors open without difficulty, but they were the sort that automatically closed when left untended. Oh well, no time for second guessing now. I guess... But if it's like both options, you get trapped in somewhere, whether it's the room at large or in this general like little cabinet. And the real thing is like, joke's on you, never supposed to go to the death room in the first place. I turned around and jammed myself end first into the closet, grabbing the edges of the closing doors with my fingers and pulling them for all my worth. The same. New dialogue. Shrinking my body into the cramped closet, I prayed silently for the footsteps to pass by this room. But then, the person making those footsteps was probably the same person who turned on the light in here, so I didn't honestly hold out much hope. Rapidly, my thoughts grew darker. Worst-case scenarios began flashing through my mind, one after another. Less than new dialogue. I grasped my quivering mouth and violently shaking shoulders in a vain attempt to calm myself down. I clenched my eyes shut and willed myself to swallow any sounds that may otherwise have leaked out. Worked really well the other wrong end. The other wrong end, as if this is going to be a wrong end. Ooh, a visual. Is that just like one of the chains or something? I peeked through the gap in the door, and my fears were confirmed. I was no longer alone in this room. Oh my gosh. You know what I bet happens? Oh, I kind of hope it happens at this point. There's like one of those moments where there's like a small like crack or like a keyhole where like the protagonist or whatever character you're experiencing from their perspective is like looking through the keyhole or the little crack, and all of a sudden the eye of the monster appears like super huge. The thing that was in here with me was horrible. He seemed not quite human, but not really anything else either. And whatever he was, I was scared to death of him. On second thought, maybe he was human. He just had a grotesque face and an abnormally large body, not to mention a zombie-like disposition. He was horrifying. Alright. He walked over to the blood-covered table at the center of the room and violently threw her down onto it. Yikes, at least we get to see the girl, though? It looks like, some of those girls from the extra chapters in the first game, it looks like their uniform. Letting out a moan of agony, she came to. My god, she was still alive. Doesn't look like she's in as bad shape as we could maybe have thought last time. I wonder how being in the cabinet is going to be any different. Right? He technically should leave for the same reasons. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Oh. It's her! Shoot, what's her name again? Oh my god, I forgot her name. The girl that was all tied up and there was the bucket that was going to pour on her. She was friends with Mayu. Oh man, what's her name again? That's right, that's right. She got dragged away by this guy. Her legs had been severed and everything. Oh, it makes so much sense. This girl, I think it's pretty cool that they tied it together. Oh, I forgot her name. She was cool though. She was reasonable. Everyone else needed her. Her legs have been severed at the thigh, like completely cut off. How could anyone do something like that? Yep, it's that guy. Definitely got a zombie-like disposition. The man straddled the girl and tied both her arms in the metal restraints attached to the table. No, what was he planning on doing to her? I'll refrain from making a joke. Are we gonna be able to save her in the process? Like, are we just gonna wait it out ourselves? Are we gonna dash as soon as we get a moment to? I don't know what's gonna happen. Are we gonna hit the man? Like, I'm very intrigued. I'm very curious to see what happens. But he's gonna drop something along the way. He's coming this way. This reminds me of Outlast. No, no, no. Please, no. What are these sounds, man? I bet his voice actor had a lot of fun doing that. The man passed right by the standing closet, instead turning his attention toward the nearby corner of the room where he began rummaging through a toolbox. He was utterly careless about it, tossing aside any tools he didn't need. Hammers and drills were clanging on the ground, with some sliding under the table. Each time a tool fell, he'd bend down and scoop it up. If I had been hidden under that table, I absolutely would have been found just now. Yeah, we found that out the hard way. Before long, he pulled out a large pair of pliers. Returning to the girl's side, he once again stepped up onto the table and straddled her body. Yikes. This doesn't look like it spells too well for this girl. Hopefully we don't have to see. Can we please, like, do something at this point? I really feel like... Oh man, if only they could empower Corpse Party's characters more. What is he going to do with those exactly? I wonder. The real question is why, right? I feel like the same sort of sense like Batman had with regards to the Joker. Just like, why, right? Like, is there any sort of rationale? Is there, like, what instinctive pulse, like, what intuition, what instinct is there that would tell this person to do this? Or, like, even Sachiko, right? Why does this sort of a thing occur? Wordlessly, the enormous beast clamped down on the squirmy girl's cheek and squeezed with all his might. Oh no. Oh no. Then, as far as I was able to determine from my vantage point, he forced her mouth open and shoved the pliers inside. Is he gonna take her tongue? Oh no. Oh no. He readjusted his grip on the handle, then skillfully began opening the two metal prongs while simultaneously pushing them down her throat. Oh no, I'm getting the goosebumps. Oh, and the sound effects too. No, stop! Is he just like wreaking havoc in there or what? Oh no! Finally grasping the girl's tongue with his pliers, the man suddenly yanked his arm upward in one single powerful movement, tearing it from her mouth. Oh. Oh, just even imagining that. Oh. Here I was thinking we might actually save her. I heard the sound of her mouth frothing over, and after a moment of squirming, all her movements ceased completely. Yikes. That's when I lost it. Tears were streaming down my face and I began peeing myself uncontrollably. Urine was pooling along the bottom of the cabinet. Hopefully it doesn't seep out and he notices, or she doesn't make any noises or anything like that. Yep. I frantically contracted my stomach, forcing myself to stop peeing. If any of it leaked out from here and gave my position away, I'd be a goner for sure. My stomach immediately fought this sudden denial with a painful cramp. Please, please don't do this now. The man tossed the severed tongue into an aluminum bucket at his feet, then roughly threw the pliers back into the toolbox with an ear-splitting clatter. He grabbed the bucket containing the tongue and slowly disappeared from the room. Did we survive? Is he coming back? What's going on? Somebody had just died out there. Was killed out there. I was in shock. What I'd seen had literally scared the piss out of me. I didn't think that ever actually happened. I had to get out of this room. If I stayed here until he came back, and if he found my hiding place, I could easily be the next one to die on that table. Are we gonna make a bolt for it? Slowly and shakily, I opened the cabinet doors and re-emerged. Oh my god. That is horrifying. The girl still was aboard. She almost looked alive, albeit gravely wounded. But her mannequin-like lack of any emotion whatsoever said it all. Oh man, I stared at this fresh corpse and just felt so many conflicting emotions welling up inside me. I exited the room, fighting back more screams from the pit of my stomach that seemed insistent on coming out. Yikes. No, what is this place? If I'm dreaming, somebody wake me up, please. But I knew it wasn't a dream. I accepted that this place was real, even though it differed greatly from any reality I'd ever known before. Now that I think about it, how did other people find out about the Sachiko Ever After charm? How did Naho and Kibiki-sensei find out about it in the first place? What's kind of crossing my mind is, how can anybody be here, or anybody that couldn't, nobody could have been here as a result of Naho's blog before Sayaka and Naho got here, right? This is throwing me for a loop with all this timeline stuff. Because what I'm thinking is, we're in the same place as this girl, right? Which arguably means, and from the same event that happened with the little chapter, I think it's chapter 2, with Mayu and Yoshiki, and if that's the case, then they're also here, right? But they only got here because of the Sachiko Ever After charm, which happened after Ayumi read it on Naho's blog. But Naho's already here and had just posted the thing on the blog. So I don't think it's very reasonable to think that everyone, or Ayumi read it, went to school, had them do the charm, they came here, then they explored, and then this girl was captured by this man. And then we're here now, just maybe an hour after Sayaka's been here. Granted, we don't really have much of a reference for how much time has passed, but I am trying to puzzle it all together, or like put it all together chronologically, at least in my head. That said, they did say in the beginning that there's going to be a lot of past, present, future, a lot of mixing of that stuff going on here. Is Heavenly Host even subject to those same sort of time laws, right? Could we have a Naho from the past with an Ayumi from the future? Even if it's a day or two in the future, right? It could be possible. I totally didn't even read that. Oh well, I'm sure you guys were able to. Naho, help me, please. We're going to take Naho's perspective now? As I mentioned, the time passing. Days passed in this sweltering, isolated bunker. I couldn't even say how many. My cell phone battery ran out after a while, and my watch died too. I was lost completely, but I never stopped looking for Naho. Oh no, she's gonna crack. I hadn't eaten anything. I hadn't drunk anything, and I'd slept so many times I couldn't even begin to estimate how long I'd been trapped there. That's a good point, right? As soon as you start sleeping, you really lose track of time. But also, sleeping is a good strategy. I mean, granted, if you think you're relatively safe enough to be able to do so, in order to conserve energy and stuff. But at the same time, it sounds like Sayaka's just gonna die and waste away right now. Like this whole chapter was a wrong end. Oh. The chocolate. The chocolate my mom gave me was still in my pocket, but I couldn't bring myself to eat it. I felt like it represented an important bond between me and her. I get it. I do get it. I'm a very sentimental person myself. But my sentimentality isn't really valuable if I'm not alive. No. No, don't tell me we're running into this giant man again. Wait a minute, where did the giant man go? Oh, you know what? Wasn't there... I'm trying to remember the incident where that girl got taken away from Mayu. It was like there wasn't anything behind the door before, and then there was like an earthquake or something like that, and then the door opened and he was able to drag her away. Or was it like that he opened the door and was dragging her away, and then like it closed the door, and then when Mayu went to open it, it was locked, or she opened it and there was like nothing there. I forget what it was, but it made me think, if I recall correctly, that there was some sort of like shifting of spaces, or some overlapping of these parallel universes, or parallel, I don't know, heavenly hosts. And maybe that's why we're not able to leave right now, and maybe that's how the man travels. Because like, how did the man get out of here? How did the man find the girl if we can't leave here, right? Our friendship will last forever. It will never die. Oh, I feel so bad for her. No. No, now it's our turn. No. We're getting dragged away. Save me, please. No. No. And we left the chocolate too. No, Sachiko ate it too. Oh, I hate the symbolism. I hate it. Oh, she's such a gross eater too. Wait, that was it? That was it? We finished chapter 4? Wow, that was a short chapter, guys. Number 5, Shangri-La. Oh man, Shangri-La hype. I love the opening from the first game, but holy cow, that was a short chapter. That was a short chapter. I thought it was pretty good though. Yeah, I guess that's it. Wow, I'm surprised. Yeah, I liked it overall though. I mean, it was a bit strange seeing Naho in her kind of like little cutesy phase and all that. But I'm gonna go into the options screen real quick to talk about the chapter without. Oh wait, no, there's no music here or anything like that. I don't want to mess with that. To talk about the chapter, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts too in the comment section below. What you guys thought of chapter 4, because it was really short. It was a bit uncharacteristic for Naho. Is this gonna cut the music too? No. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a bit uncharacteristic of Naho. I didn't really like that too much. Luckily, it didn't start off with a bunch of fan service. I appreciated that. I like that it pretty quickly got into the spooky and the supernatural. It explained, you know, Naho and the blog, and the relationship with Kibiki Sensei, and why Naho went into Heavenly Host, and what state he went into Heavenly, or in what state she went into Heavenly Host, and this whole new character Sayaka, right? What happened to Sayaka and everything. But I feel like it was cut very short, right? I feel like the main character, while we played as Sayaka and maybe centered around Sayaka more, I don't think in the long run Sayaka is going to be that big of a character. I think Naho is the more important character here, and I was really expecting that it was going to maybe transfer over to Naho's perspective, that we would get to see where Naho was. Maybe Naho was going to rescue Sayaka. I felt like that story was meant to continue, and we were going to learn more about, you know, Naho deciding to go after Kibiki Sensei, or what's even going on with Kibiki Sensei and Taguchi in here, right? This just seemed like a total side story about a character that we just didn't even know in the first game, which, like, I think was done pretty well. Like, I think her character was done pretty well. It wasn't, like, outstanding or, like, that exceptional of a character. I don't think Corpse Party's characters in general are that exceptional, but they're usually pretty solid. But it's just, almost all this game thus far has been building off of the characters and giving time to the characters from the first game that didn't really get it but deserve it, and building around that cast. So this was just a very different ending than what I anticipated. Not to say it was bad though. Not to say it was bad. It just feels a bit underdeveloped. That said, I also don't know what's coming next, right? Chapters 5 and 6 and 7. I don't really know what's going on there. I should mention, I think we can look at, what's it called? Oh, no, not that. Gallery of Spirits. Can we look at the wrong ends? Because I think we should be able to look at all the wrong ends, right? I'm pretty sure that's something we can do. There was only probably one, right? Yeah, there's only one wrong end. And, oh man, there are a lot in 2 and 3 to get. So we'll definitely touch on those, but it seems like Chapter 5 has a lot of wrong ends. So excited for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. I'm really curious, because I feel like this is probably a very polarizing. I feel like the people that like Sayaka, or if Sayaka is important later on, people like this chapter in particular, or if people were even Naho fans, I feel like they would start off optimistic and then be disappointed by the fact that she doesn't really play much of a role in this chapter. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode when we start Chapter 5, Shangri-La. But until then, this is Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.